So then that's how Southampton and Hartpury got on against last year's champions in Birmingham. They come up against each other today in the first game at St George's Park. Matt, what are you expecting from this game?
So I think it will be a very cagey one to start with. I don't think either team will want to lose. I think what you'll see is Hartpury have had sort of a win, a draw and a loss so far. They've had a really tough start, let's be fair to them. They've had Helvetia and Birmingham in the first 2 games. They've managed to get a point out of those 2, which they'll be more than happy with. Whereas for Southampton, it's been a real difficult start to the season. But as we touched on earlier, a lot of injuries to key players, and it is a small group. There's also, let's put travel into the situation as well. They're travelling the length and breadth of the country every single weekend to play these games, which is also going to take its toll. So full credit to them for just being there and competing.
Yeah, well, we'll run through the 2 team lineups in a moment, but Southampton do have Alicia Povey amongst their ranks today, the number 9. She signed in the summer from Reading Royals, where she was a key player for them last year. She's a strong addition to their side.
She is, yeah, proven goal scorer. Scored a hell of a lot of goals at Reading. I think she was their record ever goal scorer, and has already shown in a brief time as a Southampton player that she's going to repeat that at this level as well. Took a goal really well in the last round at Nottingham, and we'll be looking to build on that on a big court. She's a big, powerful player, will run. She'll be wanting to build on that today.
And tell us from a tactical point of view as well about Hartpury and the way that they so often play with the 3-1 system, and Jade Grove as the pivot, so often a focal point of their attack.
Yeah, crucial. Again, we spoke, as mentioned earlier, they're a team in transition, but what they do have is some really experienced players, so the likes of Jade Grove, Sammy Halls, Holly Rogers, and they'll look to play off Jade and utilise her as much as possible. She's a real presence for them. She's somebody who can equally go 1v1 and bring others into play, and I would expect them early on to try and bring Southampton on and isolate her 1v1.
So the teams then making their way out onto the court. Let's have a look at the 2 team lineups. Southampton, they start with their captain Lauren Saylor between the sticks in goal, and the rest of the starting 5 is made up of Rebecca Moody, Kaylee Tonks, her sister Rebecca Tonks down there wearing number 10, and the aforementioned Alicia Povey. The substitutes for the Aztecs are Amy Maidment, Nicola Curtis, Hannah Walker, the substitute goalkeeper Mo Delaney, and Laura Ingram. The Southampton boss is coach Will Wilson. For Hartpury then, they're the side in all red out there, Southampton in the green. This is how Hartpury line up for the game. Rebecca Panios is in goal, the captain Sammy Halsworth, Jade Grove, Georgie Gresham and Amy Wathen start out there on court. The 4 substitutes available to be used by coach Paul McHugh are Holly Rogers, Rose Kent, Jess Hood and Kerry Walcliffe. Your referees for this one are head referee Istvan Mod, second referee Will Patterson and the timekeeper Carl Jones. So there's the Hartpury camp, and now the Southampton side of things. Matt, what will the coaches be saying just as a final few words of advice before the game?
So I think for Will Wilson here, it'll be about confidence. It'll be about going and asserting themselves a little bit, probably more than they have done so far this season. They have quality. Povey, we've spoke about, the Tonks sisters, players who can go and hurt Hartpury. Whereas on the other side of things, it'll be from Hartpury. Just Paul McHugh will be wanting them just to settle, just to play their way into the game and play to their strengths. If they try and rush things and they try and if they panic, it's going to cause problems for them. Whereas we know that really, if they can isolate Jade Grove, they can look to play off her. It's a real good opportunity for them to get another win on the board.
Yeah, 4 goals in 3 games so far this season for Jade Grove, as the captains come together in the centre circle. Lauren Saylor, the captain for Southampton, and Sammy Halsworth, another key player in this Hartpury lineup, wearing the armband for them.
Really experienced player, Sammy Halsworth, heartbeat of this side in the club, really. I think she's somebody who is dependable. She's somebody they can rely on in challenges, and she organises well. What you'll hear a long time sort of through the game, she'll be organising, she'll be loud, she'll be confident, and she'll be trying just to settle the team around her.
Moments away from kick-off then. We'll get the day's action underway, the weekend's action underway in the FA National Futsal Series, with today's games in the women's side of things in the top tier. Lauren Saylor there, Matt, the Southampton goalkeeper. We often see her try to employ somewhat of an unorthodox style of fly goalkeeper. That's an interesting aspect of the Southampton way.
Yeah, I think it's a naivety at times that almost Will Wilson builds on rather than trying to sort of pull out of her. She's somebody who will want to go and get involved, want to go and sort of influence the game, and yeah, at times it pays off, at other times it can be absolutely disastrous for them, can't it?
So we are off and underway then, and it's Hartpury who get us started at the first minute of this 20. 2 periods of 20 minutes with a stop clock if you aren't familiar. Here's Alicia Povey wearing 9 for the Aztecs. Into Tonks, back to Povey. Good challenge. Out by Wathen.
Yeah, what you see straight away is without the ball, out of possession, Southampton are going to drop off. They're going to look to deny Hartpury any space inside their half and then look to break really quickly and use those players. They won't want to do that too many times though.
Hartpury here looking to turn defence into attack and look to work a counter-attack for them. Georgie Gresham off target that time though with the effort.
Yeah, important in these early stages. You don't have too many moments like that as a team like Southampton. You don't want to be giving the ball away and too many unforced errors causing opportunities. Fortunately, they get away with it. There's another one.
Yeah, Hartpury pick up the ball forward. It goes to Grove, always looking to turn and spin, and we saw her score a goal not dissimilar to an opportunity like that against Birmingham. Saw that on the highlights reel prior to this game.
Really strong player, isn't she? And in those situations, you don't know whether she's going to play with her back to goal and sort of secure it and bring others in, or whether she's going to look to roll and try and get a shot away like that herself. What we see straight away is Southampton looking to double up on her when she's got it.
Corner, it's taken back for the strike, and it was very nearly into the path of Georgie Gresham at the second post. It was Wathen who had the effort towards goal, but just marginally wide.
Yeah, it's a really clever block and run set piece from Hartpury, and very, very close to getting something well worked. Shows how hard they're working.
Povey turns that one round the corner, but possession's back with Hartpury. Both teams just feeling each other out at the start of this one. Just over a minute played. As Povey brings that down nicely. Instead of play for the kicking on the far side.
It's a really strong challenge that as well. Alicia Povey had felt that one. Really good control. Just as it ran loose, Hartpury player in quickly. I think what's going to be key for Southampton if they're going to get anything out of this is when they do find that ball through to Povey, is to make sure that the next phase afterwards is secure. Too many times we've seen already that they're just a little bit loose with that second pass afterwards, and it's breaking down. They've got to work hard to get 1 in and around her and 2 keep possession.
Southampton that time giving possession back to Hartpury. It's forward to Grove. Held the ball up well there, the pivot. Gresham. Southampton here just dropping off to a deeper half-court defence. Over on the wide right, but that's comfortable enough for the goalkeeper Saylor. Long distribution down court, but it didn't reach anyone in green, and Hartpury have the ball back into Grove again. That time it was asking a bit much of her to control and bring the ball under her spell.
Yeah, asking a very lot of it. There's not many players that could pull that ball down, but straight away you're seeing what Southampton are going to look to do is, as we say, deny that space inside their own half. But probably what they've got to work a little bit harder to do is just deny those passes into Jade Grove as well. If they make it too easy, they're gonna make life really difficult for themselves, because they cannot allow her to still be isolated 1v1 when they're already deep in the court.
Here's Kaylee Tonks, one of the 2 Tonks sisters in the Southampton squad, with her sister Rebecca, as Hartpury look to spring an attack forward, but they've given the ball away, and Southampton now look to hit back. It's Povey, good turn, managed to get the shot in, but nobody there waiting at the far post.
Yeah, disappointing one, isn't it? Because it's a really good ball through to her, really smart turn. Perhaps they're a little bit deep in the court to go and support her, but what she's looking for is Rebecca Tonks to really push on and hit that second post there, and it's the right sort of idea, isn't it? They've got to work harder to get in and around Alicia Povey, even though they're going to spend larger periods of this game defending.
Here's Gresham. Wathen looking to dictate the play from the fixed position at the back for Hartpury. Forward it goes to Grove. Manages to get the shot in, and it was well held at the second time of asking by Saylor. Kick starts the counter charge, but the pass then is just slightly overcooked by Povey. It's out of play on the far side for what will be a Hartpury kick-in as we see a first flurry of changes.
And again, it's a really good example of how hard Southampton are going to have to work in transition to get up and around Povey as their pivot player and give her some support. She's got the ability to bring others into play, but they've got to be there quicker, got to be there a lot sharper. That's a really good idea, and Rebecca Moody's just a yard too slow, a yard too deep in the court.
Wathen that time goes for a more direct ball forward to Grove. Holding off the defender well again. You'll see that as a theme across the course of the time that Hartpury are in possession. Nice turn. The referee's going to bring it back there for the free kick. Just maybe a little tug at the shirt of Jade Grove as she looked to spin away down the right flank.
Yeah, really physical battle you can expect between Jade Grove and Rebecca Moody. She'll relish it. She's played like that for 2 seasons that we've seen her now in this league, hasn't she? And she's somebody who will continually look to back in, look to secure that ball, look to make those sorts of situations where she can win free kicks, draw challenges, or hopefully draw a moment where she can skip away and get a shot in on goal.
Rebecca Panniers rolled the ball out for the start of this Hartpury period of possession. She's back in goal for Hartpury today with no Katie Christopher, who's started the season as the first choice goalkeeper, but Panniers, who we saw a lot of last campaign, now back with the opportunity. Forward to Povey. It's a nice ball through. Just unable to make anything of that though, and it's another loose touch which takes the ball through again, this time to Panniers.
Again, it's that next phase, isn't it? They're finding that pass into Alicia Povey, but then that next phase afterwards just isn't quite working for them. That's good defending.
Forward from Wathen. Rose Kent wearing the number 17. There she is for Hartpury. Now a chance for Southampton to look to try to build something from the back. It's similar to the style of the game that we've seen so far, with Hartpury enjoying the possession. This time an opportunity for Southampton. They've won themselves a kick in.
I think that's much better from Southampton, to be honest, where they've just looked to secure that ball. Ball just rolled back off the line there, so referee pulling it back.
Yeah, it's an unforced error which has been overturned. Kick in then for Hartpury, and again the Aztecs drop off and retreat back to allow Hartpury possession in this kind of area, which won't be worrying for them. Looking for Grove, but the pass just evaded her and it's out of play. That's the task though, isn't it, Matt, for Hartpury, to try to break down what at the moment looks a resolute Aztecs defensive structure.
Yeah, I think they've got to be patient. They've got to realise is Aztecs are sitting in. That's a really nice move. I just pause.
Yeah, nice ball forward. Can Southampton look to try to make something of that? They don't, and it's out of play for a Hartpury kick in.
Yeah, but for Hartpury, it's just about being patient, isn't it? It's waiting for those right moments to find that pass through to Jade Grove, and then they know her strengths. They know how they're going to play. Going to look to get that ball in and play off her. They've got players like Holly Rogers, who's on the ball now, who will look to make those runs, but can also isolate a 1v1 like that, go and get shots away herself. Ball's gone straight back.
Yeah, can't go back to the goalkeeper there. And it's allowed to run behind for the corner by Lauren Saylor. No opposition player had touched the held the ball well. Wathen.
Good effort.
Yeah, not far wide.
Really, really good strike, because Lauren Saylor will be unsighted there. He's coming through players, so it's someone who, it's well worth having that strike, isn't it? If it's on target, you never quite know whether the keeper's going to get there. Game just opening up slightly now.
Here's Rose Kent. Managed to feed the ball through the legs of the defender, but Grove hadn't quite made the run that Kent was hoping she had.
It's a really, really clever pass. Either Grove or Holly Rogers has got to be attacking that second post. That's a great ball.
Good ball forward. Is this the game's first goal? It's an opportunity, and a good save by Panniers. Came out and spread herself really well there, the goalkeeper, across from Grove. An opportunity down the other end, and there is the game's opener. And it's Holly Rogers on the score sheet for Hartpury. with an opportunity for the Aztecs to score first at one end. Hartpury hit back, and on the counter, they score first, 1-0.
And that is the danger, isn't it? Southampton had probably their best moment of the game to create that opportunity, but in transition straight away into Jade Groves' feet. She plays off with a lovely pass, well weighted, and Holly Rogers made no mistake. High, right into the top of Lauren Saylor's goal, and it's 1-0 Hartpury.
3 goals so far this season now then for Holly Rogers. And first blood goes to Hartpury. Looking to add to their advantage straight away and double things on the scoreline there. In possession, but inside the centre circle with Wathen. Southampton seemingly dropping ever deeper and just trying to contain this period of Hartpury momentum. Maybe a chance for the shot, there was, but it was scuffed wide.
Worth an effort though, wasn't it, when it opens up like that? Worth a chance. Hartpury looking really comfortable so far in this one. The test for Southampton now is going to be, we've seen that resolute defence, we've seen that deep diamond as such. How are they going to turn that round? How are they going to go and assert themselves on the game now they're 1-0 down? Because they're almost going to have to come and get the ball. They can't afford Hartpury to have lots of possession as they have so far, and almost afford the amount of space that they're giving them in these sorts of areas.
Here's Wathen again. Wants to play the pass wide right that time, and Walcott looking to return the ball back central.
That's a nice little paired movement, wasn't it? The little give and go. Just trying to find that pass, didn't quite find its target.
Played forward from Moody. What can Southampton work from this? Not much, as it's out of play again, and we'll restart with the kick-in.
Again, really good defending from Hartpury. Whenever we've seen Southampton in those areas, they're more than equipped to deal with it. Look really confident 1v1.
Wathen, she's seen a lot of the ball so far in areas like this. Wathen, good pass, breaks the first line of defence. Southampton with bodies back there now. Back it goes to Wathen, looks to work the shooting opportunity, that was quickly shut off.
Good defending, but again, Amy Wathen carrying that ball sort of 10, 15 metres up court, pretty much unchallenged, just working that ball left to right and looking to create those shooting opportunities. Southampton have to engage better for me inside their own half. It's okay playing a deep diamond, but if you're just going to sit there and sit in, you're almost inviting problems, aren't you?
That's a great distribution from the goalkeeper, and maybe an opportunity now for the Aztecs, although then the pass is just played slightly behind where maybe was intended. Southampton though with a period of possession.
Yeah, take another look at this. What a save from Panniers, and then straight away that quick thinking into Jade Grove, and Southampton in all sorts of trouble. It's a perfectly weighted pass, and it's a hell of a strike, isn't it? Right into that top corner. Lauren Saylor, no chance.
Superb finish from Holly Rogers, and that's the difference between the teams on the scoreboard at the moment. Nearly a quarter of the game played, approaching the midway point of the first half. It might open up for the shooting chance again. It did, but it was closed down as Jess Hood got the shot away. Walcott breaks out from the initial pressure, back to Wathen. Walcott exchanging passes with the fixed Wathen once more.
It's great feet.
Walcott looking to go inside. This is Jess Hood intercepted. Maidman, good turn. This is Amy Maidman bearing down a goal if she can get the strike in. Might have been going wide of the near post anyway, but no chances taken by the keeper Panniers. Wise decision, and it will be a corner.
Yeah, it's really good individual play from Maidman. And then as you see here, I just thought she took too long, really. I think it is going wide, but Panniers has to make sure, and it's a really strong stop with her left hand. What can Southampton do here?
Set back for the strike was the intention from Moody, but she fluffed her line somewhat with a scuffed effort.
They just need a little bit more quality there, don't they? And a little bit more patience and a little bit more guile, maybe.
Maidmans, Tonks. Back to Maidmans. Walcott in to win the ball back for Hartpury under pressure though. This is the first time really that we've seen Southampton not immediately retreat back. That was an excellent ball through, and then the goalkeeper had to come out quickly to deny Holsworth. Still in possession, the Hartpury captain.
You see that unorthodox style of Lauren Saylor coming to her aid really. She's out quickly, she's happy to come and engage, and if she didn't, Sammy Holsworth's clean throw on goal. A really good opportunity.
Wathen with the ball again, and time to decide what to do with it. Pass back is looking for Holsworth, and it will be a Hartpury ball.
Really impressed with how patient Hartpury have been in those sorts of situations. Amy Wathen in particular just happy to have possession of the ball, keep moving it left to right, keep recycling it round, and just looking to wait for that opportunity to come from a lapse of concentration or a mistake from Southampton.
Wathen, plenty of bodies between Wathen and the goal that time, although then it's a loose ball which has given the opportunity and presented it for Hartpury across the face of goal, looking for Holsworth. So close to a second, but it stays at 1-0.
Really good opportunity, and then we saw again, first unforced error we've seen from Hartpury, but we saw again, didn't we, Wathen just happy to pick off those pieces and wait for those lapses of concentration. It creates the 2v1, and in the end it's good defending from Rebecca Moody, I think, at the second post, just to deny Sammy Holsworth what was a really good opportunity.
Moody didn't catch it as she would have wanted to again that time, as Curtis picked out a decent ball to find her from the kick-in. 8.5 minutes to go until the break. Just the single goal splits the teams at the moment. Wathen again, cross to Walcott, nice turn. Just forced slightly wide left though, and Saylor here looks to try to turn defence into attack quickly, but the pass wasn't quite pinpoint. Southampton restore a bit of order and have the ball back, but only momentarily. It's been given away to Holsworth. Holsworth with a 1v1 in a dangerous area, and Holsworth scores! That's 2-0, Hartpury double their lead. A superb strike from the skipper.
It is a fantastic strike. She was patient, she was composed, and she waited to create that little bit of a chance for herself. Just shifted it right, and that gave her the angle to find the bottom corner. But this is all, again, it's Southampton's own doing that the chances come from. Got to be better in possession. They've got to be more secure with their passes, and they've got to look to utilise what they've got and their strengths a lot better than they have been.
Well, it might get even worse for them here. Just for a moment, it looked as though it was going to open up with Grove lurking in a dangerous area. Just need to steady the ship somewhat, don't they, Matt? Southampton, because it's all one-way traffic at the moment as Grove looks to get the shot in. She might again. Oh, it's gone in as well. The goalkeeper got hands to it, but wasn't able to keep it out. And just like that, it's a 1-2-3 for Hartpury. And Jade Grove is the scorer this time.
And we spoke about their experienced players, didn't we, and pinpointed the 3 goal scorers before the game, and all 3 have come up big for Hartpury so far. They've been fantastic in the way that they've approached this game. He's very patient, he's waiting for those chances, and what a strike that is from Jade Grove as it opens. Southampton, as I keep saying, it's okay dropping off into that diamond and trying to make things difficult, but you've got to engage, and if you don't engage, you find yourself in situations like this where Jade Grove has the ability to punish you.
Goalkeeper Saylor, who did get hands to the last goal, the sheer power behind it from Grove just took it away from her as Grove there plays the block, and Wathen strikes. That's an excellent set-piece goal. Southampton 0, Hartpury 4.
And this game is racing away from Southampton very, very quickly. Another well-worked set-piece. Jade Grove with a fantastic screen and block, and Amy Wathen gets the goal that her performance so far today deserves. And no surprise, I think, when we come back to hear Southampton have called a timeout. They just need to settle, they need to find a foothold in this game again.
Yeah, so then the timeout called, perhaps wisely, by the Southampton boss, Will Wilson. There you can see the Hartpury camp and head coach Paul McHugh. They'll be delighted with how they've played so far, and 4 goals to the good already.
Been a really strong start to them, hasn't it? We spoke about them having a really tough start to the season. They've played Helvetia, played Birmingham already, and came away from with a point from those 2 games. they'll have seen these sort of next batch of fixtures now as a chance for them to build on their season, and they're taking full advantage today.
Yeah, so we will return to court and restart with the kickoff then. Following that superb Amy Wathen strike from the corner, it was a chance which was created from the training ground with the set piece move and the screen or block played by Jade Grove. You can see the expressions on the face of the Hartpury players as well, and it probably sums up their delight at the scoreline and how things have gone for them so far.
Definitely all gone to plan, hasn't it? They have a style, they have an approach across the club as well. You see not just Paul McHugh, but
maybe an opportunity here down the other end for Southampton, looking to hit back straight away from the restart. It was well defended though, and the ball now trapped somewhat up in the corner of the court, and it will be a corner.
It's probably the first mistake Amy Wathen's made so far in this game as well. Firstly, she defends that really well, but then get yourself in that situation. She's 2v1 on her defensive goal line effectively. Just roll the ball out of play and reset. Give possession away, don't give the corner away. But there's a real club feel about Hartpury now, isn't there? It's a very similar style that you see from the women's team as to how the men play. They've got really talented pivots across the club. And you see the men's players happy to sort of club in and do some coaching with this women's squad as well. I think it's a really nice sort of development that you see in from the club that was formerly Worcester last year as they step into their sort of new roots.
Yeah, well, we'll see their men's team in action tomorrow as they take centre stage, but all eyes at the moment on Hartpury's women's side, and so far so good for them. 4 goals to the good. It's a difficult task now, isn't it, Matt, for Southampton to try to restore some order about things and work anyway to get themselves back into it.
It is, yeah. It's that quick fire. There's a quick fire treble, really, isn't there, that's really killed them in this game so far. They've got their strong players back on court. They're real key sort of danger players as it would be. That's a fantastic ball to one of them, Kaylee Tonks. Yeah,
excellent diagonal to pick out Tonks, but she can't work anything of what was a promising position to pick the ball up in.
And again, it's probably their naivety in that situation. Kaylee Tonks just wants to secure that ball, and she's looking to rush and take the shot on, whereas for me, she's probably better just bringing other players into play and try and build the attack and be a little bit more patient with it. There is a long time to go in this game. They don't need to panic too much because it can change all so quickly. But it's these sorts of areas where I think I've been most disappointed with them. They're sitting off and they're not engaging quick enough and allowing Hartpury too much room to just implement their game plan.
Out of play, and we'll restart with the goal clearance from keeper and captain Lauren Saylor. Just over 5 minutes to go until half time. Just the one foul in the first half as well. That went against Southampton, but Hartpury yet to commit one.
Yeah, it's been played in good spirits, hasn't it? Two sides who are wanting to get the ball and get on it and play. No real nastiness or anything. I think that's a feature of this division, isn't it, so far? You've got teams who are looking to play, looking to get on the ball, and very rarely do you see tempers flare up in the women's tier 1, as you perhaps see tomorrow.
Yeah, well, looking forward to the games tomorrow, but also the 2 games that we'll have to follow in the women's tier 1 today.
Yeah, I think there might be a few tempers in this next one. Here we go as we speak. There's the first foul for Hartpury, and it's one of them, isn't it, for Jade Grove there. She's got a right to try and win that ball. Alicia Povey just a little bit too quick for her. You see the tape on Alicia's knee there. It's been something that's troubled her so far this season. Great to see her back on court.
Yeah, referee Isvan Mod just coming across to check on the Aztecs number 9, but she's back to her feet, and again restarts with that free kick. It's a ball pass there though, and given away by Laura Ingram.
Just trying to force things, aren't they, all the time? And that time's again really good use of a body there from Rebecca Tonks to buy that free kick on halfway. And as we commentators curse, no fouls in this game for a while, and suddenly we've had 2. But they're very clever individual moments from Povey and from Tonks. But Southampton again there, just be more patient, just be willing to keep the ball, this is better.
They have won it back here in a promising area. Tonks looks to set it back, that's nice, and then well defended.
But find the next pass, find the next pass. She's looking, Ingram's looking to shoot there, whereas the pass to Tonks is on. And that's been a feature of what we've seen from them so far. And they have really bright moments and then don't do anything with it.
Panniers, the net was momentarily left unguarded there as Lauren Saylor made her way up to the halfway mark, but the ball was fired straight in from the set piece. Panniers opting against a shot at goal and instead just keeps things calm and restarts again from the back.
Yeah, and I think a 4-0 is probably the right decision, isn't it? No reason to try and rush things, just set it back, reset the game and see how you go.
Ingram forward to Kaylee Tonks. Tonks, nice cutting diagonal, and then a teasing ball back in, looking for Tonks again. Hovey picks up possession, forward again, looking for Tonks, but this time it's intercepted and it's set Grove away. Could this be 5? It is 5! And it's a 5-star performance in this first half for Hartpury. Jade Grove beats the keeper there, and that's 5-0.
And there's no real doubt when she found that ball at her feet, was there? Great control, fantastic first touch here, left foot, shapes it onto her right and just smashes it home. But again, it's all Southampton's own doing. They've got to look after that ball a lot better. They've got to look to find those passes and make them more secure. And they're just getting picked off at the moment. Too many lapses of concentrations, too many sloppy moments. And Hartpury have been superb and have taken full advantage.
Well, this is threatening now to become a long morning's game for Southampton. 5-0 down, they find themselves inside the first half. And it's difficult for them as well, because I'm sure a lot of the game plan would have been about containing Hartpury. You see that from the way they've played in the deep-lying block and trying to hold the Hartpury attack rather away from them. But do you think maybe, Matt, they've given Hartpury a little too much respect in this game so far?
Definitely. I keep mentioning
another opportunity. Oh, that's 6. And things just get worse for them. They get even better for Hartpury.
What a fantastic, well-worked goal this is, but it's almost like a training move, isn't it? Southampton, yes, we're right. They're looking to contain, they're looking to sit off and make things difficult inside their own half, but they're sat off and they're not engaging. And all Hartpury are doing is playing around green blocks, effectively, and that's what you're seeing now, and they're picking them off at will. I think these are difficult, and you're seeing Kaylee Tonks here just sort of beckoning to her sister that she wants her to get forward. We take another look at this. It's fantastic from Walker at the pass. It's a really good finish as well.
Yeah, Jess Hood on the score sheet then for Hartpury. They've scored 6, and that's with 5 different scorers in this first half. Hood's first goal of the season. It's the first time we've seen her involved in a matchday squad this campaign for Hartpury, in fact.
And I think she's one, Jess Hood, who is part of that sort of transitional feel to this Hartpury team. There's been quite a big turnover of players from their squad from last season, and as the club sort of moved from Worcester, so is the playing staff.
Oh, that's a late challenge, but the advantage is played as there might be an opportunity for Moody. Gets the strike in. It was well blocked. It was a late challenge, and we expect the referee to come back to that. It's still there though for Southampton as they look to desperately turn it in before half-time and try to get a goal back, but it was Rebecca Tonks in the end, and her effort just falls wide.
And that's their best moments, isn't it? Firstly, there's the second chance as Rebecca Moody looks for the second post, but also early on with the first one, Rebecca Moody just looked to take a touch, and I think she just got to strike it right-footed first time. But really good opportunity for them. Their brightest moment so far in this game, and they'll be hoping that it gives them something of a sort of foothold and something that they can build on in the second half, and just try and find a way back into this one. It's been one-way traffic other than that so far.
Yeah, well, certainly Southampton's best moment of the game so far, but they didn't make it count and very much still on the wrong side of the scoreline.
So I think referee here, Sammy Holsworth, had clear possession of that ball. I think he should start the count there. Allowed Hartpury a little bit too much sort of leeway and just stepping away, looking to work something. I think he's got to start the count.
Yeah, well, there was incidentally that rolling foul indicated as the replay was shown for the advantage and then the opportunity that came from that for Southampton. So 3 Hartpury fouls now, but no real danger of a 10-metre spot kick with little time left before the midway point. It's cleared away there by Saylor, along down court and out of play.
Half-time's going to be really difficult for Southampton, isn't it? It's going to be something where they've got to try and pick themselves up. You can see the body language, facial expression, just showing a frustration and a real disappointment in this first half display. They've got to try, and Will Wilson...
Ball that's loose there and it's been given away, but then again Southampton don't really make a shooting chance from it. There's plenty of bodies around battling for possession. Moody, the game goes on, Moody twisting and turning and back in possession to Tonks.
No one at the second post.
No real pressure on the ball, and then it's across to her sister in Kaylee Tonks, and it's a fine stop from close range by Panniers. Not sure how much she really knew about it, but positioned herself well and keeps the clean sheet intact before half-time.
It's a really smart stop, wasn't it? Because he came from nothing. And here's Rebecca Tonks again. And
Tonks gets the shot in, and that's another good save by Panniers, this time flying to her right-hand side.
For the first time, you're seeing Hartpury make the same sorts of errors that Southampton have made so far, just sitting off, and 10 metres from goal there. Rebecca Tonks, we know, has a shot that can punish people. What can they work from this corner? This could be a really good time for them to try and get themselves on the score sheet and just give them something to build on in the half-time break.
There was a little deflection on that shot as well, which made the save even tougher and better in the end by Panniers, but it resulted in the corner that nothing came from.
And that is much, much better defending from Hartpury, and Paul McHugh, much to the referee's annoyance, I'm sure, calls a timeout with 30 seconds to go, just really to look to utilise something and try and build something from this set piece, I'd imagine.
Yeah, well, just under 30 seconds to play then in this first half when we resume from the timeout. Problems to solve for him, the Southampton boss there, Will Wilson, with assistant Sean Dye and Antonio Ramos there as well.
It's been a really tough morning so far for them, hasn't it? But we've seen futsal change very, very quickly. They will know that. They've been involved in games where they've been in this position before, and they've somehow managed to find their way back into it. They have goal scorers. The Tonks sisters, Alicia Povey, they're players that can score goals. And it's about picking themselves up now. They've not started this game very well at all, but it's about finding a foothold and it's about building on something, whatever it might be in this game. Hartpury, and then well, they've been fantastic, haven't they? This is almost like a token one. It's great from a coaching point of view when, like Paul McHugh's done here, you can use that timeout just to try and set something up tactically on a set piece.
Oh, it's not worked though, and it's given the ball away. Almost catastrophic there from that kick in inside their own half.
And that's the most frustrating thing you can ever do, is when you've taken a minute to set something up on the board and the team goes and does that. Good effort, really good effort. Panniers happy, but it's better from Southampton just trying to work something. And interestingly, they've probably stepped 10 metres higher on the court, which I think has led to just put a little bit more pressure on Hartpury and almost force these little bits of errors.
Yeah, certainly stepping up higher now, Southampton, but that might leave gaps further up the court for Hartpury to look to go and exploit. We're very close to half-time. Something perhaps for Southampton you'd imagine would look to try to use in the second half as well, as Tonks opts to shoot for goal with a few seconds left on the clock. And saved by the feet of Panniers. And there's the buzzer then to signal half-time, and it's so far so good for Hartpury. An excellent first half display for them, and the coaching team of Paul McHugh and Jack Tyson will be delighted with that first half performance. On the other hand, it's not at all gone the way that the Aztecs would have been hoping it to. At half-time, Southampton 0, Hartpury 6. So then some of the first half highlights.
It's easy to forget that Southampton had the best chance early on, but then from that, straight away, Hartpury clinical with that chance, that goal for Holly Rogers. We see the strength of Jade Grove, happy to secure the ball.
Yeah,
Perfect
this is a superb
pass.
finish, isn't it, Matt?
It's a really good goal. But it's quick thinking as well, isn't it? They know that they've always got Jade Grove as the outlet, but the difference is something we spoke about, is Holly Rogers is supporting her with a really good run. Again, this one here is all about Sammy Holsworth's composure. Shifts it onto that right foot, finds that bottom corner. Really good finish. But Southampton guilty of just giving away possession on halfway too easily, too many times.
Yeah, and this is the moment in the game where things started to go downhill really for the Aztecs, and Hartpury hitting them hard with a third goal in quick succession here through Grove.
Yeah, it was a really difficult one, and it's something we've spoke about quite a lot. They need to engage inside their own half a lot quicker and with a lot more sort of aggression to those challenges. It's too easy for a player of Grove's quality and power and strength to find that space. This is the best goal of the game so far. Great block from Grove and a really good Amy Wathen finish. Something she thoroughly deserves for a fantastic performance so far in this game.
Yeah, there was just no way out of defence there for Nicola Curtis as she was screened for the strike. Great goal.
And it's a really good moment, and what Jade Grove does really well is own the area of the court. So I was part of a referees meeting this week where just listening in to what they were talking about, and it's something that they speak about a lot with blocks, is the player making sure that they own that position and stand still and really deny any space. This is just quality. It's a really good finish. Her first touch is excellent, but again, Hartpury know every single time they win it back, she's an outlet and she's somebody that they can hit, and she takes full advantage.
Yeah, never looked like missing there, did she, Jade Grove, as she was bearing down on goal. Only ever one outcome you felt as she was in.
And again, really well worked passage of play. Jess Hurd marking her debut, well, first getting start of this season with a really good strike. Kerry Walcott with a perfectly weighted pass to find her.
So then that's how it stands at the midway point, with Southampton finding themselves on the wrong end of what's been an excellent first half display from Hartpury. There's the halftime score. It's the Aztecs 0, Hartpury 6. Welcome back then to the action live from St George's Park in the FA National Futsal Series Women's Tier 1, and it's so far so good for Hartpury, and the teams are back out for the start of this second half. Matt Hardy alongside me then. Matt, was a difficult first half, as we mentioned, for the Aztecs. What can they look to try to do here, and I guess take this second half in isolation and look to try to build something in that sense?
Yeah, I think they've got to work on what they did wrong almost in the first half. It's quite harsh to say that, isn't it? But we saw them start with a really deep diamond, looking to deny Hartpury any space. But they didn't engage when they didn't have the ball, when they were just sort of sat there and became almost like just obstacles for Hartpury when they had possession. They've got to engage better, they've got to maintain possession better, and hopefully they can give them something that they can build on, not just for today, but moving forward in the season, because it has been a really, really tough start for them so far this season. For Hartpury, it's about more of the same, isn't it? It's about keeping their standards high, it's about not giving Southampton any sort of hope in the game, and making sure that they play to their strengths. We've seen that what the likes of Jade Grove, Sammy Holsworth, Holly Rogers can do to hurt Southampton, and for Hartpury, it's about keep getting them on the ball in situations like this.
Turn and shot from Grove, and it's just wide of the far post. You can see here as well, Matt, a change in goal for Southampton at the start of the second period. Lauren Saylor, the captain, who's so often such an integral part of the team and still will be in terms of the squad, but replaced between the sticks in net by the youngster, just 16 years of age, Mo Delaney, in goal now for the Aztecs in the second half. And
I think what you're probably seeing is Will Wilson acknowledging the fact that this game is done almost. They're not going to they're not seeing a way back into this at this stage. So it's a chance for Delaney to get on court, get some minutes, experience at George's Park, experience a Tier 1 fixture.
Oh, another opportunity here for Hartpury perhaps, and Delaney's called into action. It's good goalkeeping.
Yeah, she's going to be busy, isn't she? Good defending. Wathen again, she's been superb.
Wathen looking for Grove, and it's a player who's gone down off the ball there, but there's an opportunity down the other end for Southampton. Oh, it's just turned wide. It's a couple of ricochets on its way through, and a touch off the goalkeeper, Paniers, as well.
It's a fantastic reaction start from Paniers, because I tell you what, that couple of we could see what Tonks was looking for. She's looking for a sister at that second post, but the couple of ricochets made life really difficult for the goalkeeper. She reacted really well.
Yeah, just a slight break in play here as one of the Southampton players went down as this attack was in full flow, and there you see the touch, and what an important one it was as well from the goalkeeper, Paniers. It will be then good to restart, and we'll restart play with this corner. Tonks, short to her sister Rebecca Tonks from Kaylee, but it's all very crowded when it's such a corner played in that tight an area of the court.
Yeah, shows a little bit of lack of ideas from that sort of situation from them. Difficult one, because they've got to try and take full advantage in those situations. And set pieces, you have to feel when you've had a game like this, or such a good route back in.
Grove, good turn, and that's an excellent finish. Right in off the post, into the bottom corner. And Jade Grove, inside the first 2 minutes of the second half, completes her hat-trick. And that's number 7 for Hartpury.
And I think what we've seen so far from her is 3 goals scored in 3 completely different ways. This one was all about her strength. She's strong to hold off Kaylee Tonks. She creates a little bit of room, and then it's a real quality, guided, composed finish into that bottom left-hand corner. Fantastic strike from Grove, fully deserves a hat-trick. And Hartpury starting the half as they ended the first.
Yeah, pure precision on that strike from Grove. And here she is again, looking to get another strike in. That time it's blocked. It was goal bound, and ever a threat. Wathen just making sure the ball was placed correctly on the line before taking that kick in. Nothing happening for them that time. Hartpury from the set-piece chance. Take a look again at this.
It's a fantastic first touch, first of all, and so strong. to hold off the challenge. As she turned, I thought she was second best for it, so her strength to find that opportunity, really good, and the finish, really smart.
There's Rebecca Tonks. Back to Moody, but she immediately came under pressure from the now hat-trick scorer Grove, and then there's an opportunity for Southampton as Moody looked to get the return pass off Tonks, but it's just slightly behind the run that she'd made.
Again, another example of that sort of second phase of an attack from Southampton just not coming. The quality's not there, is it, in possession when they get into those areas. Too many times it breaks down too easily.
Referee's whistle goes. Southampton not happy, but the decision goes in favour of Hartpury.
Yeah, harsh one perhaps. Holsworth seemed to be just falling herself a little bit, just slightly off balance. Good opportunity for Hartpury again.
Yeah, Will Patterson was quick on the whistle that time, but it's only out of play, and for the kick in from the set piece that we saw. Wathen towards the Grove again, and that's a good save by Delaney. Textbook stop.
It's a really smart stop, isn't it? And she's made 2 or 3 already in this half, showing that she's real quality, someone who Southampton can build on for the future. But again, what really well worked. Lovely parallel pass, and Grove's so strong. You cannot give her that room. She will hit the target.
Great split save from the goalkeeper there to deny.
Great opportunity.
An opportunity here for Tonks, and Tonks sees her shot saved by Panniers. Definitely the best chance that Southampton have had. One-on-one with the goalkeeper. Now down the other end, Grove looking at a similar situation, and it's turned behind for the corner. Chances at either end.
Wow, very similar to the first goal of the game, wasn't it, that? Where Panniers makes a really strong start, and then instantly Amy Wathen turns that ball around. Well worked set piece, but shot off target. What a save that is. Kaylee Tonks, as she's bearing down on goal. We know her quality in front of goal.
Flicked round the corner there by Rebecca Tonks, looking for her sister Kaylee, but too much on it and it's out of play. Has been a problem for them though, Southampton, on the transitional moments, the few occasions when they have managed to get inside the defensive third of Hartpury and then maybe haven't quite recovered as they should in futsal and get bodies back behind the ball.
Yeah, been difficult, hasn't it? And it is hard because Hartpury know they have almost that release valve straight away. They're looking to find those passes into Grove. Like this.
Grove again, there's a ball round the corner once more, and this time it's just wide by Walcliffe.
Good opportunity. Grove showing the other side of a game where she can be a provider. Walcliffe will be disappointed not to hit the target. I think it's about Hartpury now, the position they're in. Just keeping, as we said, those standards high, not giving Southampton anything in this game. Had a couple of chances, haven't they, in this half so far, and it's about making sure that they don't allow them too much room, and really any sort of any chance to register any score, because it could really, thinking long term in this season, this could be a really damaging day for Southampton and their hopes of survival.
Yeah, they survived via the relegation playoffs last season. Southampton managed to retain their Tier 1 status, but it's been a tough start to the Fresh League campaign for them. It's only got more difficult today, and the thing that will probably disappoint them the most is the fact that they've been in the majority. Oh, we'll just come back to that in a moment, as there's an opportunity for Hartpury to score again, and Walcliffe fires wide.
Wow. We said she should have hit the target with her last one. She would definitely be disappointed not to hit the target here. It's oh so easy for Hartpury into Grove. Runners off her. Kerry Walcliffe, well, it's a let-off for Southampton. That should have been 8.
Yeah, she really should have scored there, Walcliffe, as the ball was played across to her from Hood. But Southampton have been in the majority of the games that they've played this season, and the score lines have been fairly tight. It hasn't been somewhat of a whitewash that we've seen here today.
Yeah, it's been a real difficult day for them, hasn't it? Just nothing they've done has worked. In possession, too many times like that where the passes are loose and not quite coming off, and then
forward to Grove with the header to goal, and it drops agonisingly wide.
And then defensively, almost on cue, they're just not switched on. It's far too easy for Amy Wathen, one, to find that pass, but Jade Grove also to have that room to try that. And it's audacious, isn't it? But very nearly comes off.
They just found so much space in behind the back line of Southampton.
Prime example, look at the space Kerry Walcott had for a moment there, and Hartpury not able to take advantage.
Here's Rebecca Tonks, that's deflected wide. It will be a corner for Southampton.
It's very reactive from Southampton rather than actually being on that front foot. And even when you've not got the ball, it's important in futsal that you're switched on, you're trying to influence what's going on court. And at the moment, they're just second best all over the court. Really difficult for them.
It's an unforced error from the corner, and it's gifted the ball back to Hartpury, and this time in the form of Walcott, who we've seen miss a couple of opportunities to extend the Hartpury lead even further at the start of this second period. Here's Povey. Certainly hasn't had the influence on the game that she would have been hoping for. Ingram, good pass there forward to Povey. Dispossessed. Walcott, though, running herself into a little bit of trouble in a dangerous area, but it's eventually behind, and we'll restart with the goal clearance.
So easy just to find that pass for Grove.
Well defended that time by Laura Ingram, who was there covering, but as you say, Matt, the direct ball from the goalkeeper straight to the pivot, and Southampton can't say that the warning signs haven't been there.
Whether from the goalkeeper or whether from Amy Wathen in that fixed position, they're just picking it off, aren't they? And being able to just play that pass with relative ease into Jade Grove's feet and get runners in and around her. You'd think at 7-0 when she's had an involvement in 5 goals.
Oh, this would be an excellent goal if it's turned in at the far post. It's not. It was Hood who was closest to it, but the one-touch passing there was great from Hartpury.
Yeah, really good opportunity, and again, it's all about, they find that pass into Grove, they get runners off her, and Southampton just almost chasing shadows at times.
Povey exchanging passes, has the ball back. Walcott looking to rob possession away from Hannah Walker, who's wearing the number 11 for the Aztecs.
Really good determination and strength from Kerry Walcott to win back possession there.
Walcott again. Skips away from Walker, and Walcott looks to feed the ball through to Hood. She was fouled there after she looked to offload the pass.
Going to earn herself a break, I think, as well.
Yeah, really might be disappointed that she's not on the score sheet after that stint on court there, Kerry Walcott, but certainly causing Southampton's problems with the way in which she's playing.
Definitely, she should be on the score sheet, especially the second one. I think she should score the first one, but the second one definitely has to end up in the back of the net. But she's worked hard and she's won a team a really good opportunity.
Fires straight to goal there by Wathen.
She'll be disappointed not to test the goalkeeper there. I think those sorts of situations, make sure you hit the target, make sure you make them work.
Forward to Tonks, and it's a good stop by Panniers. Again, no chances taken. Out for the corner.
When called upon, in the few moments it's happened, and it's a long, long ball, isn't it? And it's something out of nothing. But Povey's, it's going in, it's creeping in that bottom corner. Panniers more than alert, more than a match for it. She's made 3 or 4 really good saves, considering how little she's had to do in the grand scheme of things in the game.
Referee there just moving the Southampton players back the required 5 metres, but it's cut straight through them and forward to the pivot again, and it's another opportunity, and this time it's a testing ball into the area that was begging to be turned home by somebody but wasn't.
Yeah, again, too easy into the pivot. This time Sammy Holsworth deputising for Grove, who's gone off for a breather. Southampton just can't deal, one with that pass in, and then secondly with the pass out of that pivot position as well.
Povey was there looking to exchange passes, but it ran through kindly to the goalkeeper Paniers. Clearance away takes it out for this kick-in. Just a one goal in this second half, which is somewhat of a relative positive for the Aztecs, would you say, given the 6-0 scoreline that we had at half-time?
It is, yeah, but also I think it highlights that Hartpury, perhaps when you're 6-0 up at half-time, just take your foot off the gas a little bit and don't have to worry too much about what's going on. They've not got to keep going and attacking and scoring goals. I think the clean sheet would be really important to them. Foul count starting to rack up for Southampton here as frustrations get the better of them. That'll be something to watch as this game goes on, because they're on 3 with 12 and a half minutes to go.
Excellent diagonal, but it was well wide open and left wide open by the Aztecs again, and it was a good diagonal through though.
It's the game too easy, isn't it? You saw it. She saw it. Amy Wathen saw it very, very early, and no one from Southampton seemed to react. Again,
Wathen looking for the second post. Good goalkeeping that time by Delaney.
It's all very passive from the Aztecs, isn't it, defensively?
Tonks.
Very easy for Hartpury to pick it off.
Kicking for Southampton. 8 minutes gone now in the second half. And Hartpury leads Southampton by 7 goals to 0. Holsworth just checks back and lays the ball off to Rogers. Good tackle. Now maybe an opportunity then for Southampton. It's Povey, the number 9, looking to try to work the shooting chance, but that was quickly shut off for her and bobbled through in the end to the goalkeeper.
Yeah, she's done really well. First to win the challenge, then to come forward. Then perhaps the composure's needed. Probably felt she'd earned the right to have a shot herself, but she had good support from Rebecca Tonks.
A couple of players there going down in a heap, one from either side, but the game's allowed to continue. Curtis back there trying to nip in before the ball reached Grove, and well, she was left completely unattended there again. Holly Rogers, I beg your pardon.
But again, it highlights something that's been an Achilles heel for the Aztecs throughout the game, leaving that top player, whoever it might be for Hartpury, with far too much room. And lucky to see what they were trying to do. 3 in line off the kick-in, trying to create some space. I think what you would see as the kicker, Holly Rogers, would spin off and look to almost attack the top of the area there for like a little give and go move.
So the goalkeeper Delaney here stepping into the attacking half, and Southampton looking to make use of that, but they don't really, and it's a loose ball which crosses the near side touchline.
She's done really well, hasn't she, on her debut? Delaney made a couple of good saves. She'll be pleased with her individual performance, even if not pleased with the scoreline. Only conceded the 1. And it was some finish as well.
Povey, Southampton looking for what might now just turn out to be a consolation. It looks as though the 3 points are all wrapped up for Hartpury, but Southampton still pushing hard and trying to break down the Hartpury defence and kill their clean sheet. Here's Povey again. Hartpury just switched off momentarily from that corner. There was an opportunity for Southampton to take advantage.
Yeah, lapse of concentration. That'll be something that Paul McHugh won't want to see. Yes, it's 7-0. Yes, they've won the game, but it's about maintaining standards, keeping them high, doing the right things, isn't it? 4 fouls now for Southampton. That'll be something they just need to keep an eye on, because in the situation they're in, they don't want to make life any more difficult for themselves by giving away 10-metre free kicks, penalties.
Tonks. Oh, and it has gone in. Excellent finish into the bottom corner from wide right, and Rebecca Tonks does get the Aztecs on the scoreboard. 7-1. Yeah,
really good finish. Wide area, difficult one to find the target. Find it she does, and it's probably the one area of the goal where that can creep in. Panya's unlucky, guides a near post, but it probably highlights something that you've just mentioned, Isaac, where just the last minute or two, Hartpury have just seemed to step backwards. They've almost gone down a gear in the way that they're playing, and Southampton find themselves on the score sheet. Now what can they do with a little bit of a positive? Need to defend better than this.
Yeah, Hartpury here looking to hit back straight away, but the shot's well high and wide, but in isolation in the nearly 10 minutes that we've seen played in the second half, it's been a goal apiece now, so certainly been an improvement in the second half for Southampton, but feel that the game is obviously well beyond them, given the first half display and how that played out.
And they'd have known that at half-time. It was about how they approach this half now. It's about making sure they build on things that they found were problems. And I think that'll be the most disappointing thing for Will Wilson, is so far in this half, not really learned from the things that went wrong for them. That's 5 fouls.
Yeah, Walcott there taken to ground, and it was somewhat of a cynical challenge as well, and that will be the 5th foul. So any further foul conceded by Southampton, definitely no questions asked about the award of the free kick. Any further fouls will result in a 10-metre penalty.
You could see the frustration on the Southampton bench. Rebecca Tonks, just almost like frustration boiling over, wasn't it, for her? But yeah, I think for Southampton, Will Wilson will just be disappointed that they seem to have continued to make the same sort of mistakes. They're not engaging very well defensively. When they have it, they're not looking after that ball well enough, and too many times it's too easy for Hartpury to get themselves into areas where they can punish. Let's give Hartpury some credit as well, though. They've been exceptional. They've had a game plan. They've played to that game plan really well, and they've utilised their real danger players. Here we go again.
Good turn, looking to skip away from the defenders in green, but coming across to defend well was Kaylee Tonks.
A really good ball again into Grove's feet.
Grove back to Walcott, and happy to just take their foot off the gas a little and retain possession, but they'll be looking to, and I'm sure the message from the bench, as you mentioned, Matt, will be to maintain the standards and keep pushing on and really punish this Southampton team as much as they possibly can, with as many goals as they can possibly find.
Yeah, and I think it's no surprise that you've seen Grove only have a short rest before coming back into court, even with the game won. Walcott's been bright in this half as well, so she's come back onto court. And especially on 5 fouls, you want players like Walcott and Hurd who are going to go and engage 1v1, and Grove in a way, because they're the players who are going to draw the fouls.
Yeah, it's a different type of 1v1 battle for Jade Grove, isn't it? But certainly, as we see here, a 1v1 situation again, and she just loves to pick up possession with her back to goal, turn and spin and get the shot in.
And the Aztecs don't have an answer for it, do they? Whichever way whoever tries to defend against her, whichever way they try and attempt it, it's very, very easy for Jade Grove to go and almost play to her own strengths at her own will. It's a good challenge from Jess Hood.
Yeah, brilliant tackle. Wins the ball back for her side, Hartpury, and then it's intercepted by Moody. Moody to Povey, under a little pressure, sends it long. It's only coming back though, and still one-way traffic, no foul given there. Walcott picks up possession, back it goes. Forward again to Grove with options to her left this time. Good ball across the hood, and well denied by Delaney. Good save.
Really good save. She's been really bright, hasn't she? That's 3 or 4 1v1 saves now. But again, too easy to find it into Jade Grove, and then that second pass off her. In these sorts of areas, Hartpury having all sorts of joy.
Walcott wanted the ball back there and said it.
What she did really well though, Kerry Walcott, was she wanted the ball in that sort of central area. She realised it wasn't coming, so continued her run, looking for that second post, and it creates that 3-in-line opportunity for Hartpury to find.
Oh, it's nearly a disaster moment as Rebecca Moody plays the ball back to Rebecca Tonks, and well, I think it took a touch off Tonks as well. If it did, it would have counted as a goal had that ended up in the net. It'll be a corner, but that somewhat sums up Southampton's morning.
It really does. Take another look at it. I don't know whether she does make a touch or not, but certainly a miscontrol. It's really poor, isn't it? Not what you want to see. Southampton not had the morning they'd have wanted. Chance to play at St George's Park. It's a long, long day of travel for them, both here and then after this to get themselves home. Hartpury though, been fantastic. Kaylee Tonks needs to be careful there, pulling the shirt. I think that's what Kerry Walcott's asking.
Yeah, just a reminder that Southampton are on 5 fouls and will concede a 10-metre penalty for any further fouls that they commit in this one. as Grove flicks it round the corner to Walclid and across the face of goal. An important touch to divert the ball away from goal. Moody skips past the initial pressure. Forward now to Kaylee Tonks. Back looking for Moody. Moody with an option to the right, but she couldn't find Povey. And again, it's defence into attack really quickly for Hartpury. And again, they take the wise decision to just slow the game down and retain possession.
Don't have to do anything else, do they? They can play to their strengths. They can look to create these 2v1 opportunities. This time, Laura Ingram, who if you had to talk about positives defensively for Southampton, probably would be the one who's dealt with Jade Grove better than some of her teammates. She was on hand just to snuff out any danger, but then again, Southampton have possession, and within 1 or 2 passes, they've given it back.
Well, things don't get any easier for Southampton in what's a relentless fixture schedule. They'll face the champions Birmingham WLV for the 2nd time this season. We saw their highlights from their game in which they lost 4-2 to Birmingham last time out, but they'll be up against them in their next fixture in a couple of weeks, as it's left to run just wide by Panniers. She seemed rooted to the spot and very nearly made its way in at the 2nd post there.
Good opportunity, wasn't it? And it's one where in this situation you want to test the goalkeeper. I don't know whether she's happy. We'll give her the benefit of the doubt, shall we? She seemed happy to let that run pass. Knows her angles well. Better from Southampton though, just looking to try and sort of influence the game a lot more than they have.
Tom's there looking for Moody, but it just runs away from her.
He's rushing that final ball, isn't it? Ingram's on this left-hand side, look to utilise her, look to utilise that next sort of phase in the play and make the pass count. And too many times they're rushing it, not able to secure that ball in high areas. What a chance.
Another opportunity for Hartpury, and there's another goal. And it's a 2nd goal of the game for Holly Rogers, the number 9. And things just get even better for them.
And it's a fantastic goal again, isn't it? This time Holsworth into her feet, lays it off, perfect pass, and Rogers, similar to her first one, once she's clean for on goal, makes no mistake. It's a fantastic finish. Delaney, who we've seen be really strong 1v1, had no chance with that one.
Yeah, left the goalkeeper Delaney with no hope of preventing the 9th goal of the game, and it's scored by the number 9 for Hartpury. Holly Rogers bags herself a brace as Tonks looks to try to get that goal back on the scoreboard for Southampton. It will be a corner and a Southampton ball.
What can they work from this? They've been very wasteful in these situations so far, but that's better.
This time it comes across to Ingram as they worked a better set piece and opened up the shooting opportunity from close range, and might feel that she could have taken better advantage of that as we then look at the last goal in the game again. Good finish.
Ingram should hit the target though on that last chance, and that'll be a disappointment. Not testing Panniers in that situation. That's been the difference, hasn't it? Quality of finishing. Hartpury, every chance they've got, put it away. Southampton, chances haven't been there as regularly, and when they have got them, very, very wasteful in these areas with things like that. Too many times the quality of pass, the quality of the finish just hasn't been there for the Aztecs. And they've made life really, really difficult for themselves.
That's wasteful this time though by Hartpury, and uncharacteristic somewhat of them in this game so far, as Kent not quite on the same page as the teammates. That's out of play, and possession's back now with Southampton, although again only for a split second, and the pressure's only coming one way, and that's down to the right of the court as Hartpury look to try to find themselves a 9th goal.
Again, Delaney did really, really well, but then just take a little bit more time, have a breather, don't want to rush that pass forwards.
Final touch there came off the latest scorer, Rogers. Out of play for the Southampton kick. We're into the final 5 minutes, and then Hartpury's big 3 points will be confirmed. Off the back of the 4-0 win over Cheshire last time out, they'll back it up with another 3 points here today. Free kick there. Referee on the far side had the situation right beneath his nose.
10-metre penalty, isn't it, for the 6th foul? So
it is indeed. That's the 6th foul. You're quite right, Matt. It will be a 10-metre penalty and somewhat of a silly foul to give away because it's not in the dangerous area.
yeah, and I just paused for a second because there didn't seem to be any sort of reaction for it. So I was just looking at what referee Van Mod had given. It's a great opportunity for them to build on their lead, and I've seen already Amy Wathen's got a hell of a strike on her. Delaney have to be at her best.
Can Delaney save? She does, and denies Wathen from the 10-metre mark. It's actually the first 10-metre penalty that we've seen across the whole of the women's Tier 1 season in any game so far this campaign. And it's fired straight down the middle, and the goalkeeper stood rooted to the spot, and it was a comfortable enough save in the end.
It's a really good camera shot, that one, for showing you just how difficult those 10-metre penalties are. You're a long way from goal, and it's a very, very small target as well. Keepers can obviously come off their line as well, can come as much as 4 metres from their goal line. Makes it even more tricky, and Delaney did well. Tactical foul, let's say, there from Holly Rogers, realising she wasn't getting back in.
Yeah, free kick that time. No questions asked about that one, and it goes the way of Southampton. We're going to have a set-piece opportunity then for the Aztecs, but it's just inside the attacking half. Moody across to Amy Maidment. Moody, wasteful though again.
Yeah, just a little bit void of ideas, aren't they, in these situations? Not really having any sort of influence when they get into that sort of final third. Set pieces haven't been anywhere near as good as what we've seen from their opponents. Hartpury look organised, look like they're trying to work something. It's good from Curtis and quickly. Better defending. And this is better from Southampton. This is what they should have been doing, looking to engage much higher up the court. It's too little too late though, isn't it, with just over 3.5 minutes left.
Yeah, certainly pressing much higher up the court now than we saw from them, particularly in the first half, Southampton, but as you say, Matt, just too little too late with the scoreline at 8-1. The game's long gone and in the distance now. Good turn. It was a good touch to bring it down.
Really good touch. Holly Rogers, fantastic turn, finds herself in that pivot position and just couldn't find the target with a shot. But another good, bright moment for her. Sloppy.
Yeah, distribution there, just dropping short, and it's gifted the chance for Kent, and no pressure on her. She opted to take the strike on, didn't need asking twice there, Rose Kent, but another good stop from the
really
goalkeeper.
Good stop, really good stop. It's a good, firm strike, isn't it? Okay, what can Hartpury work from this?
Look to work a 3 in the line movement. Oh, and it sneaked in at the near post, and there is another Hartpury goal. And it's another one from a set piece. That's the 10th goal of the game, and 9 of them have gone the way of Hartpury.
And it's a hat-trick for Holly Rogers as well, isn't it? Very, very easy, no pressure on the ball. I'd like to take another look at that corner, you know, because I don't know whether whoever the taker was, there wasn't a double contact. No one seemed to react to it, but really, really interesting one. Well worked corner, regardless.
Yeah, it was a strange moment, but the referee allowed the situation to play out, and ultimately it played out with another Hartpury goal. And you're quite right, that is another hat-trick for a member of the Hartpury camp.
Just couldn't quite see from that angle, could we? But it's a well-worked 3 in line, and then everybody got sucked on, expecting almost the pass to come into the middle to Sammy Holsworth, and Rogers saw the opportunity and found that gap at the near post. Really smart finish.
9-1 then, into the final few minutes. Holsworth. Here's Rose Kent, only one of the few Hartpury players who haven't got themselves on the score sheet so far. Still time for that to change, of course.
This will do them the world of good in terms of goal difference and everything. We know how important that can be in these latter stages of the season. Once you get to the latter stages of the season, sorry. And for Hartpury, it's a real confidence builder, this one, isn't it? More of a clearance than an actual effort on goal, I think, but why not? Amy Wathen just clearing her lines, and she's been exceptional in that position, played a lot of minutes.
Rolled short then to Moody. Forward again, but to nobody in particular, and wasn't able to find a teammate. Moody battling for possession. It should be a Southampton ball.
She recovered well there, Moody, because again, unforced. Didn't need to force that pass.
Povey trying to desperately keep the ball in play up by the corner, but it's across the near side touchline, and it will be a kick in, not the goal clearance.
It's a line change from Hartpury here. Again, referee's very lenient with this one. Well within their rights if they wanted to start that count and speed Hartpury up. Don't. Here's Grove again.
Grove, there's a couple of options to her left, and one of them's Walcliffe, the other is Hood. Here he goes to Hood, and unselfishly tried to feed the ball across to Walcliffe. The moment's gone somewhat now, but just happy to retain the ball. Hood might take the shooting chance on, she did, but it was quickly blocked by Maidmans.
I think Jade Grove should shoot there, and she should go on her own, and she should take the shot. Uncharacteristic from her, especially today. We've seen a hell of a lot of really good moments, like this one. Just couldn't quite make the contact she wanted to.
Yeah, it wasn't quite the conviction behind the strike that time, but again looking to employ the same strategy and getting the shot away at goal. It's out of play for the kick-in. Just over a minute left to go then, Matt, and gives me an opportunity with the ball out of play to ask you for your player of the match.
Yeah, and the person on screen there, for me, everything Hartpury have done well has gone through their number 7, Jade Grove. She's been a real thorn in Southampton's side throughout. Found herself 3 goals, involved in 3 others, and has had an exceptional game and an exceptional morning. It's a real highlight and a big win for her team.
Panniers there with another save to deny Moody.
She's had a good game, Panniers as well. I was about to say, Panniers, Wathen, Holly Rogers all deserve a shout out as well, but Jade Grove for me just edges it in terms of her overall performance.
Well, Panniers thought about the strike there, but then opted against doing so.
That's a really good ball.
Across to Grove again, looking to add number 4 to her individual tally of goals. Player of the match, Jade Grove, scored the 3rd, 5th and 7th goals for Hartpury in the game. So influential. Final 20 seconds into that now. Here's Curtis. Povey. Curtis is in a decent area. If the ball's fed through to her, it was, and Povey then looking to pounce upon the chance, but it won't happen for them.
She's going to shoot, no. Perhaps didn't realise the clock.
Yeah, I was just going to say, maybe not quite aware that that was the final closing seconds of the game. But either way, Hartpury take home here a big 3 points with a huge 9-1 victory over Southampton. Southampton, they stay rock bottom of the table, no points from their opening 4 fixtures, so there's problems for them and boss Will Wilson. But for Hartpury, it's an excellent morning's game that's played out perfectly for them. And the final score, Southampton 1, Hartpury 9. Let's then take a look at some of the main moments from it and the highlights of what was a 10-goal game.
It's a really good strike to start things off, and it really set the tone, didn't it? Grove, influential. This one from Holsworth was all about individual quality, finding that space and finding that bottom corner. Grove then, at her very best, tight situation, finding a strike away, and from this moment on there was no doubt over who was going to get the 3 points. Really good set piece, the block.
The execution on the finish as well is
really
superb there, Matt.
A really good strike from an excellent Amy Wathen display. This was just, what a finish that is.
Yeah, clinical in front of goal there, Grove. Never looked like missing that one. And there was another added to the score sheet before half-time as well, with Jess Hood finding that goal. Into the second half, and it started in similar fashion to how the first half went. In off the post and no saving that.
And this at the time was a really interesting goal, because I thought Tonks had every right. At that position there, she could win that ball, and Grove's strength just got the better of her. And then the finish didn't look like a clean finish, did it? But when you see, it's a really good guided, composed strike into that bottom corner. This was Southampton's best moment by a mile. Really good finish from Rebecca Tonks.
Yeah, a consolation goal for the Aztecs, with Rebecca Tonks on the score sheet.
And that was probably the one moment in the game where Hartpury didn't look comfortable. They'd had a minute and a half where they just dropped off slightly, as we see, a little bit passive in the way that they defended, and it allowed Tonks that opportunity to get that strike away. But overall, a fantastic display. Rogers here, clean through, again, really clinical. And Delaney, who impressed in the second half on her debut, could do nothing about that one.
Yeah, Delaney made a string of saves for Southampton in that second period, but these a bunch of fine finishes, and into the back of the net that time. Holly Rogers, one of two players who scored hat-tricks in the game for Hartpury.
And you just see again on this corner here for Rogers' hat-trick, the whole Southampton defence almost got drawn to the run by Sammy Holsworth, and it allowed Rogers just that gap at the near post to get a strike away.
Yeah, just snuck in at the near post there, didn't it, past the goalkeeper.
And it's a fantastic goal.
So then an excellent display from Hartpury. They run out 9-1 victors against Southampton. A big 3 points for them. Let's take a look at what it does to the league table. And indeed, it sends them to the top of the tree, albeit having played a couple of games more than Bloomsbury, who we'll see in action later today, and London Helvetia, who won the league campaign before being beaten in the playoff final by Birmingham last season. But it just emphasises there, Matt, the quality of the start of the season that it's been for Hartpury, especially given the difficulty that they would have seen on the fixture list when it was revealed.
And it also rectifies the huge defeat on the opening day against Helvetia, where the big win puts their goal difference back in the plus. And yeah, really good after a difficult opening day. They've had a really good start to the season that I'm sure they'll be really pleased with.
Conversely, for Southampton, we see them rock bottom of the table, yet to pick up a point, and the fixture list doesn't get any easier for them up against Birmingham next time.
No, really tough start, really finding it hard in their second season, and almost got a little bit of second season syndrome that we see spoken about so many times in the top tier in football. Southampton are just struggling to even get a foothold in this campaign at the moment, and need to just find things that they can build on, find things that they can sort of assert themselves with. But at this moment in time, it looks like being a long, hard season for them.
So then, for the time being, Hartpury, at least for the time being, move to the top of the table. That's how the women's Tier 1 stands at the moment. And still to come today on BT Sport 1 Live, we'll have Birmingham WLV taking on Bolton. That's a 12:45 kickoff, and then a 14:50 start. It'll be Cheshire against Bloomsbury. But the full-time score in this one, Southampton 1, Hartpury 9.